I woke up in the back of a pickup truck with a pounding headache and a weird love for Psychic-type Pokémon. I jumped out into a town that I did not recognize, and some woman comes out of the house calling me X-Tane, and she claims to have a room prepared for me. Have I been kidnapped? I come downstairs and she claims that my dad was on TV, but conveniently right as I get to the television, it was over, and she tells me to go find some nerd who knows my dad. All of a sudden, I hear some man screaming for help, so I pick Trico to fight the Zigzagoon, and then I name him Psy-Not, for he is not psychic. The lady gives me shoes so I can run, and I am determined to figure out what is going on by running far away. On my way to try to find an answer, I find this green-haired creature named Ralts, and in that moment I knew this was my true starter, not the stupid lizard, but Ralt. At that moment, I decided I'm going to beat this game using the best type in Pokemon, Psychic-type Pokemon, and only Psychic-type Pokemon. Get out of here, Psy-Not! I made it to the next town and I found my dad. He was really shocked to see me, and then some sickly green-haired nerd came over asking for help, begging for a Pokemon, and my dad, for whatever reason, after I just reunited with him, forced me to help him, and I decided to help him on one condition. He had to catch a Psychic-type Pokemon. I took him to the same area where I found my Ralts, and he caught it in one Pokeball, and he was so thankful that he left us alone. I decide to leave too, and I go out and catch myself a powerful Abro. Well, right now he's pretty useless, but eventually he'll be a very strong addition to the team. I named him Vision. The first gym leader, Roxanne, a rock-type user. Rock-types tend to be physically defensive, but frail on the special side. This should be a cakewalk for Wanda. I understand that this is basically a 1v3 because Vision does not have an attacking move yet, but Wanda is an elite Psychic-type Pokemon. This should be such an easy battle, no questions asked. This isn't even a challenge. Wait a minute. What's going on in the background? Is this a death montage? Wanda, what is happening? This should be so easy. Anyways, I decided to use some double team shenanigans. Since this dumb big-nosed rock is quite bulky for this portion of the game, the Geodudes were not an issue, they were simply setup fodder. Nosepass was able to tank quite a few hits, especially with potions, but Wanda finally got a needed crit that ended the battle, and Roxanne had no choice but to give us the badge. I get the Devon goods and save a bird in a cave from a pirate, and he's thankful. Since I saved the scientist twice, I get to meet the president of Rocks, and he gives me a cell phone and tells me to deliver a letter to his son. On my way out, I beat up some girl who has a lily pad and a chicken. Then I take a boat ride with Mr. Briny and his bird. The boat is really tiny, so I do not understand how it fits all three of us. It also has a weird quirk where if you receive a phone call, the entire boat stops. And when the phone call ends, the boat magically starts moving again. After a short voyage, we make it to Dewford Town. Before taking on the second gym, I evolve Vision and Wanda. This will be Vision's final form, since I do not have friends. The second gym leader is the meathead Brawly, but he's a complete pushover. I mean, a psychic team versus a mono fighting team. Is anyone really surprised here? Let's move on to the next part. I go through a cave and I give Steven the letter, he gives me Steel Wing as a thanks. I leave the cave and then I go meet some pirates in the next town who are in line to go see a museum. I didn't really realize they were interested in that type of thing, but I meet their boss and I give my goods to the captain. Anyways, do you remember that girl that I beat up earlier? Well, she wanted revenge, and this time she was not messing around. She actually beats up Wanda effortlessly, not even taking a hit point of damage, but then Vision comes in and completely sweeps the team. Then I ran into the green-haired dork, and I beat him up in front of his uncle. His uncle invited me to do it again sometime, and then some random guy named Scott congratulated me, and then tells me I'm his idol, and then he leaves. With that out of the way, now it is time to fight Watson, the electric-type master. And you may realize that Vision is a little bit over-leveled, and that's because Magneton actually beat me the first time and I forgot to save beforehand, but second try was a breeze, beat him no problems, Wanda did not even have to come out. Metal bird, metal bird, metal. I walked into a cave and I saw a floating sun-shaped rock, Soul Rock. I knew he was a psychic type and I knew he needed to be on the team. He's one of the only physical attackers we will get. I meet a guy playing with rocks at the top of a volcano named Maxie. He is wearing a creepy looking trench coat, so I knew I had to fight him, and Helios is immediately showing his work by taking out the dark type. I relied on the rest of my team to sweep through Maxie with ease, and after the battle, Maxie walks away and Archie comes up and congratulates me. Surely these two are not important to the plot. Leaving that mess behind, coming down the volcano, I find a bouncing pig and I decide to catch him and I name him Porky. Then I talked to an old lady and she gave me an egg and told me to run around and see what happens. After basically running a trail marathon, I hatched the most important member of my team, Why Not, and immediately after hatching him, I evolved him into Voblet. I don't really know what happened there, but it's time to fight a ginger, so who cares. I lead off with Helios, and he starts chucking rocks at Flannery's team, and after a slugfest with Camera, Body Slam, Sunny Day, Paralyzed, that Torkoal seemed to be way too hot for Helios. But now, it is time. It is time for Gaslighter to do what she does best. Torkoal thinks that she is safe to body slam, but we give her a mighty encore and destroy that turtle with a counter, and the Ginger has been defeated. Prior to fighting my dad, I evolve Wanda into her final form. I lead with Porky to deal with the Spinda, but poor Porky gets confused. So I send in Wanda to defeat Spinda and Vigoroth. But now my dad sends out the Behemoth that has stats that rivals legendaries. And since Porky let me down earlier, I send him out to die. But now, it is time. It is time for Gaslighter to do what she does best. She comes in and gives an encore to the giant ape on its loafing turn, and then follows it up with a counter to one-shot him, and there goes the battle. Okay, well, not really. Linoon had to come in, I couldn't fully get him. Kadabra came in, finished the battle, now we can move on. For whatever reason, I forgot that Baltoy was catchable in Emerald. I thought it was some version exclusive, but I went out to the desert, caught him. I went searching for items, and I read a funny sign about how Team Aqua sucks, so I decided to go spread the news to the Weather Institute, and I found Shelly. She wasn't very happy about it, so she attacked me, but Wanda was able to dispatch her entire team with relative ease. Then I got a free cast form, which I did nothing with. Remember that girl that I've beat up twice now? Well, she came in looking for revenge, but she failed to realize that Wanda is also looking for revenge. After what happened with the Wingull last time, the rest of my team has not let her live it down. So, Wanda came in, swept her entire team. I ran into the president's son, and he gave me some weird binoculars that let me see invisible geckos, so I promptly ran away, and then he made fun of my battle style. It is time to prep for the next gym leader, Winona. So I decided to evolve Porky so he can try to redeem himself after his last performance. I lead off with Porky, and he promptly shocks the dumb bird out of the sky. Winona then sends out a Bananasaur, and with a back and forth, Porky finally prevails. Porky was injured and I was proud of his work, so I let him take the bench so Wanda can take out the toilet bird after protecting a few turns, and then metal bird, metal bird, metal bird. Anyways, the dancing cloud dragon came out, and after a few back and forth, we finally take the battle, and Wanda is victorious against the flying type gym leader. After a long gym battle, I decided to go take a little safari trip to go catch a few more psychic types, starting off with catching a Girafarig who really wasn't that important to the run, but then I caught a Natu, one of my personal favorite psychic types, and you know I had to evolve him into a totem Xatu. I can't tell if this girl is stupid or brave, but she wants to fight again, so I let Ancient come out to give a few ice beams to kill the Tropius, and then I send out Xatu to kill the dancer with a fly and a nightshade. Then after he's done, a toilet bird comes out, and I kind of stall a little bit, but I kind of give him the same treatment with a fly, future sight, and nightshade combo. Then the interesting chicken comes out, and I let Porky take out the chicken to be the superior farm animal. Now it is time to catch one of the last members of the team, Chimecho. And this Pokemon only has a 1% encounter rate, and sure did it feel like it. It took me about half an hour on speed up to catch it, and I named him John. I make it to the top of the mountain, and the elderly couple tells me that the blue team takes the red orb and the red team takes the blue orb, and then they give me some Magma emblem. After that weird conversation, I decide to evolve my Baltoy into a Claydol. I go through the Magma hideout, and I see Maxie playing with the orb, and he turns a gray dinosaur into a red dinosaur, and then the dinosaur just flies away. There is nothing about Groudon that indicates that he could fly. I mean, he's literally called Groudon, basically ground. Maxie's really confused, and out of that confusion, he's angry and he decides to fight me. Maxie ends up being quite the challenge, and I don't really think it has much to do with how good his team is. It's just more of a bad lead, and I had my B team out. I was kind of tired of using the same few Pokemon gym battle after gym battle, so I put up Vision and Helios, so Wanda's really the main carry of the team. And she takes out the first two Pokemon, and I had to send in Totem, followed up by Ancient to take out the Camerupt. I don't know why that was such a challenge. Of course, Team Aqua is up to no good. I witnessed them steal a submarine, so I decided to steal their Master Ball. And Matt was such a pushover, I didn't even bother including his battle. After leaving the base, I go out and catch a Staryu, but he's not a Psychic type yet, and the Water Stone is after Dive. In order to get Dive, I gotta fight the only two gym leaders in this game that I respect, the Psychic type gym leaders. We both lead with Claydolls, and Wanda is out for blood, so immediately strikes down the Xatu. I really did not have much of a strategy for this battle. It was more so just kind of hit the biggest power move and try to kill the opponent as quick as you can, and eventually Claydol does go down. Shortly after that, their Soul Rock goes down, but unfortunately Wanda does go down, so I had to send out Xatu to clean up the mess. Funny enough, using my superior Claydol and Xatu, I beat the Psychic gym leaders Tate and Liza. Steven invites me to the space station to fight Team Magma with him. After we beat them pretty easily, he invites me over for one-on-one time at his house because he says he has a special gift for me. I hope it's a Beldum. He just wants to give me a diving suit, but I get a water stone out of it. I go whale watching with Archie, and if you thought I fought Maxie with my B team, I am definitely using the C team now. I have some team members that I know that are not going to make it to the Elite Four, so I wanted to give them some love in this battle, and boy was that a mistake. Solrock fails to take out Mightyena, so Xatu has to clean the mess. and I swap to Kadabra to deal with Crobat, but then he gets confused and nearly dies to a wing attack. Girafarig comes in, and his only psychic move is still Confusion for whatever reason, so he goes down to Crobat. So I send out John, who also only has Confusion, but he is able to finish off the bat. I decide to sack John, as you should, to Sharpedo to get a free switch to Xatu to finish off the battle. After our field trip, the dads start arguing. They're yelling at each other super loud, and then they start yelling at me. Am I the issue? Am I the reason that they're fighting? Is this all my fault? Well, then they leave. Steven comes in and he informs me that the two beasts that we saw are now fighting in Zootopolis City. The end of the world is happening, and Isabelle has no situational awareness, wants to show me her darling Pokemon. Let me show you some darling Pokemon. Boom. Groudon, Kyogre, looking at each other, and kind of just moving back and forth. I don't know, this doesn't actually seem that bad. I mean, it's kind of raining, it's kind of sunny. Let me go see what's up. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some people just want to watch the world burn. I climb up a tower to find another green lizard. What is it with this region? We got Kecleon, Trico, and Rayquaza. Where are you going? He could have at least taken me with him. I mean, we're going to the same place to watch the same thing. I mean, surely he's not going to be able to do anything about it. Da-dum. 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 Bum-ba-bum. Bum-ba-ba-bum. Bum-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum-ba-bum. Bum bum ba bum bum ba ba bum bum ba 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 ba. Oh. Hey bro, just wanted to thank you for your help. Are you a psychic type? Oh. I give my Water Stone to Staryu so I can evolve him to Starmie. He is a true powerhouse of our team. Time to face the final gym leader, Hoenn. And for the record, I did this entire gym puzzle, one try, one take. I've not played this game in years. Ain't that hard, kids. Little fun fact about Starmie. You teach him Psychic and Thunderbolt, he takes out the entire team of one. No questions asked. Rest of the team don't even know what type he is. Trackstar's rampage is not over yet. We find the green-haired dork in the cave, and Starmie decides to sweep through the first 4 members of the team, and then we send out Girafarig to stomp both it and Wally into the ground. We make it to the Elite Four, and now let's look at our final team. Trackstar with Surf, Psychic, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. Vision rocking Psychic, Thief, Recover, and Calm Mind. Helios having EQ, Rock Slide, Overheat, and Cosmic Power. You know her, you love her. Wanda with Psychic, Thunderbolt, Future Sight, and Calm Mind. My favorite Totem with Fly, Wish, Nightshade, and Psychic. Finally, Gaslighter to do what she does best. Mirror Coat, Counter, Destiny Bond, and Encore. No going back now. We have made it to the Elite Four, starting out with the Dark-type Specialist Sydney. I lead with my Trackstar, he leads with the Mightyena. We have faced a lot of these in our run, and this one is by far the most annoying. Using Sand Attack, always lowering my accuracy, I kept having to switch out because I didn't want to miss my moves, but eventually we did kill the Mightyena and we gained some momentum in the battle. Shiftry is out next, so I swap out into Totem to get a fly off, but then I get confused, so I double back to Trackstar, hoping that Ice Beam would one-shot. But with double team and being confused, I switch over to Vision just to finish off real quick with a Thief. Another Grass and Dark type. Well, this time I send in Totem to get a one-shot with Fly. Absol comes out next, and you can tell here I kind of blundered. I set up a Wish while he sets up a Swords Dance. I kind of contemplate switching out, and for whatever reason I use Fly, and I get one shot with Rock Slide, but then Trackstar comes in, Surf, Thunderbolt finishes off Sydney. The second member is Phoebe. Phoebe is a Ghost-type specialist, 2 Elite Four members in a row designed to counter my team. I barely made it out of Sydney's team alive, so I'm sure that Phoebe will be just as formidable. There is absolutely no easy way to win this. Wait, what is happening? Is Wanda just one-shotting the entire team? Moving on to Glacia, the third member of the Elite Four. She's an Ice-type specialist, so we finally have a neutral matchup against an Elite Four member. I lead off with Helios, because he has not had a lot of screen time recently, but he's been very helpful throughout the playthrough. In this matchup, we take out the Celio with a Rock Slide Earthquake combo, Glalie takes a Rock Slide to the face, and then the other Glalie goes down to it as well. Walrein proved to be too much for Helios. I sent in Trackstar hoping that Thunderbolt would be able to take him out from that range, but he did live and he paralyzed me with Body Slam. And through a few back and forth, I do get knocked out, but Wanda comes in, defeats the Walrein, defeats the Celio, and now we're moving on to Drake. The final member of the Elite Four, Drake, the Dragon-type specialist. I lead out with Vision, hoping that I can get a Calm Mind sweep. And it works out pretty well on Shelgon, which, to be fair, he is set up fodder. But unfortunately, Flygon is faster than Vision, so he does take me out. But here's a fun fact about Dragon types. They are normally quad weak to Ice Beam, so Flygon, Salamence, and Altaria all go down to 1 Ice Beam each. Kingjury comes out and takes 2 Psychics to kill, but the Elite Four is over. Wallace, the champion, specializing in water types. He's quite the yapper, so let's just hop right into the battle. I lead with my starter Wanda, he leads with Wailord. Wanda keeps calm and sets up 2 Calm Minds while all he does is set up the rain. Wanda uses Thunderbolt to strike down the Wailord, and she is ready to go on a rampage. Psychic to take out the Tentacruel, 1 shot, 1 kill. Same treatment for the Ludicolo, he tries to double team, but that doesn't faze Wanda. Psychic for the Wishcash, 1 shot, 1 kill. Thunderbolt on the Gyarados, 1 shot, 1 kill. I called Wanda into retreat when Melodic came out. Because now, it is time. It is time for Gaslighter to do what she does best. Make you tremble in fear. You may poison me, but your surf is actually my surf. And Melodic goes down, making Wobbuffet the champion of the Hoenn region. Sydney, Phoebe, Glacia, Drake, and now Wallace, all defeated by our Psychic-type teams, and X-Tane is now the official champion. All of our team data gets saved into Pokemon Champion database. We are abruptly teleported back to our kidnapper's house with our dad, and he immediately leaves. Is he scared of me? Now that I'm stronger than him? Maybe. But I go on the TV and I see a red-colored Pokemon, and I just know that I need to go find it and catch it. Before I investigate that red Pokemon, I decide to go into Steven's house to rob him. He owed me a Beldum after all. I was promised a gift and I only got Dive, but we evolved him all the way up to a Metagross, so I can now have the pseudo-legendary of the Hoenn region. After hours of searching, I finally find that red Pokemon, Latios. I can tell just by looking at him that he's a Psychic type, so I grab that Master Ball that I stole from Archie a long time ago to capture him. Wait, am I the criminal of this game? It's no matter, I needed him for my team. It's time to defeat the true final boss of Hoenn, Steven Stone. I basically have the same team as last time, but I have Latios with Surf, Fly, Waterfall, and Psychic. Wobbuffet is obviously still here, but Metagross has Psychic, Meteor Mash, Iron Defense, and Agility. Let's go into this battle and let's beat the true final boss. I gotta be on my A game, can't get distracted. Metal Bird, 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 Metal Bird. His next Pokemon is Aggron, and Traxxar is already on the field with U-Surf, get the clean one-shot, no big deal. Steven then sends out Credilli. I swap in the post-op to Metagross, I want him to have a chance to shine. He hits a Meteor Mash, 1 shot, 1 kill. Claydol is his next Pokemon. I switch him to my Legendary, and on the switch, he sets up a light screen, but Latios doesn't care and gets the 1-shot anyway. His Metagross comes out, and I fly a few times because I want to sack off my Legendary. Because now, it is time, for one last time, for Gaslighter to do what she does best. Metagross hits me with a Shadow Ball, which is physical in this generation, and that Shadow Ball will be the last thing he ever does. Gaslighter hits him with a counter, and gets the clean, 1-hit KO. Armaldo comes in and defeats Gaslighter, but it's okay, because Traxxar is here to clean it up. Oh, wait. He healed and... Okay, now we cleaned it up. The final boss is now defeated, and we have beat Pokémon Emerald using only Psychic-type Pokémon. Generally, I'm not the biggest fan of Psychic-type Pokémon, but my cousin's birthday was earlier this month, and Psychic types have been his main type for nearly as long as we played Pokémon. So I wanted to make this as a birthday present for him. X-Tame is the name that he uses for a lot of video games, hence my player's name. Hopefully you watched the whole thing and you're pleased with my piloting of the Psychic-type specialty. Happy birthday, bro, and here's to many more. And if you aren't my cousin and you watched this far into the video for whatever reason, this little challenge was a lot of fun. And if you'd like to see me attempt to do a Nuzlocke of some game in the future, just let me know. Like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you soon. See ya!